What's going on, Muscle Monsters? Lion Gonzalez here, and today I want to talk about one thing that I see far too often that could potentially ruin your ability to get bigger, stronger, or even leaner. Okay? And it's this idea that just because you did something and it worked, that you shouldn't veer away from it, or that there isn't something out there that's better. Okay? When people say certain things like, this is what I did for my bench press, and that's how I got it to whatever it is at this point. Doesn't mean that just because they saw success with that approach that it's the most optimal. In fact, there could be other approaches they could have taken that could have done it faster or could have gotten them to a bigger bench press. Okay, and so what I see usually happen is someone will do something, they'll get results, and then that becomes the end all be all. Okay? And so I'll give you an example. Somebody who just started lifting weights, they start on a 5-day bodybuilding split where they're training each muscle group once per week. They get amazing gains, and then eventually those gains slow down or stop completely. So they'll come to a guy like me or anyone else and they'll say, hey, this is the situation, what should I do? And then maybe I'll tell them that they need to start training each muscle group more frequently, something like that. Maybe give them an example of a routine to follow. And so what happens is they go in the gym, they do this routine, and because the volume is lower for a specific muscle group each day, they don't get the same kind of pump and they really don't like it, and so they revert back to their training the way they were. They start scouring the internet in hopes to find something else that may be the solution when in fact the solution was handed to them. All right? Same thing happens with dieting. Okay, I've seen people who either follow a ketogenic diet or a paleo diet. They get great success, the weight just falls off, and then they stall. And then they come to a guy like me and I say, hey, look, it's not really about being keto or paleo or flexible or whatever the case may be. It's about being in a caloric deficit. Okay, so I prescribe them a specific diet. They eat some carbs, they get bloated, they weigh more the next day, and they say, no, fuck this shit. I'm getting fatter. I gained X amount of pounds, etc. Or they'll give it a shot, but the rate of weight loss is too slow in comparison to how much weight they were losing in the beginning. Okay, so they say, hey, this is not working. I'm used to losing, 5 pounds a week, and this is only getting me to lose, half a pound a week. All right? And so ultimately, what happens is they revert back to that diet, and because they don't understand why the diet worked, it continues to not produce any results. So they stay stuck, and then again, they continue to scour the internet finding or looking for that answer, the solution, when in fact the solution was right there for them. They get this dogmatic approach that because it worked for them, that's the solution. And basically, what they do is they try to find someone, anyone, and it's easy to do, that will verify that what they're doing is correct, and they'll latch on to that person. All right? In some cases, when they're a bit more open minded, they may come to someone like me, take my information, but immediately push or give pushback when they don't see the results they think they should be seeing. For example, the guy training, he doesn't get as much of a pump, or the guy who's now going to flexible dieting as opposed to keto, and he's not losing 5 pounds a week. Okay? What you have to understand is that everything works for a reason. But once you understand why it works, then you can understand the bigger picture. And here's what I mean. If you are someone who is new to training and you're on a suboptimal training program, you're going to get results just because of the new stimulus. You're hypersensitive to the stimulus of weight training, so you're going to build muscle relatively easily. Okay? Because you're naturally just getting stronger from week to week, that's also going to ensure that you're building muscle. Okay? This doesn't mean that had you done a full body training program, you wouldn't have been as successful. In fact, you may have built more muscle. Okay? And so The idea is if you want to build muscle, then you got to get on a training program, whatever it may be, that's going to ensure that you're getting stronger over time. Okay? If you want to lose weight, you can get on any diet you want. As long as you are in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. So whether it's paleo, keto, flexible dieting, doesn't matter. Atkins, if you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. All right? The name of the diet or whatever guidelines or rules you have to follow, that's not going to determine whether or not it's a more effective diet. All it's going to determine is the route that you take to get to that necessary deficit. That's it. Okay? So whether you want to fast intermittently, fast every other day, or you want to track your macros, or you want to do keto, or you want to do paleo, or whatever, the idea is that it will work if you're in a caloric deficit. The problem with a lot of those diets, though, is that they promise you results without tracking. Okay? And that might work at first, right? Because naturally you're under eating, you're eating less total calories. But eventually you're going to have to track. And if you don't know where you're at, you're not going to know what adjustments to make. Okay? So, if you want to build muscle, make sure you're on a training program, whatever that program may be, that's ensuring that you're getting stronger over time. If you're on a diet to lose weight, then you need to make sure that you are in a caloric deficit. You can do this by tracking your weight, getting averages each week, and ensuring that you are eating less calories than you are expending. Okay, so if you want to do paleo, keto, IFYM, doesn't matter. Just make sure you know how much you're eating so that you can make the appropriate adjustments. That's pretty much it, guys. Just a quick rant. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, click the like button below. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.